have an awesome driver driving us around. His name is Titus. Everyone say hi, Titus. I also have a co-host for this tour I want to introduce you to. You might recognize him from a little show called Saturday Night Live, and currently he's the host of The Tonight Show.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Wendy.
And the greatest driver.
Titus.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Wendy
owes me $5.
Wait, what?
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Does anyone have $5 to borrow? All right, just a couple safety rules. First and foremost, please stay seated at all times, especially when the tram is in motion. Any sort of emergency, medical emergency, drop something off the tram, experience any sound or video issues, there's an emergency red cord right above you. Just pull that and I'll be back to assist you when it's safe to do so. Please keep your arms and legs inside the tram at all times. There's no smoking aboard the tram anywhere along the way on the tour. And be prepared for loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and if you're sitting in a blue seat, you might get wet. So protect those cameras, but have them ready because you never know who or what you'll see on our backlot. We are now officially in the movie studio. We're heading down what we call our timeline, and you'll notice movie posters on either side of the tram that represents over 8,000 movies that we've made in over 100 years of making movies. We've actually been making movies right here in this location for over 104 years. We were founded and opened up Universal Studios on March 15, 1915 by our founder, Carl Lemley, and he wanted to create a city dedicated to making movies. So we actually function like we are a real city. We have a hospital, a police station, a shoe shining station. We even have a fire station over here on the right-hand side. This is an actual fire station, not a set from a movie or TV show. So these are real heroes taking care of us here on the lot. Now we call that Fire Station 51, which actually pays homage to a TV show we did back in the 70s here at NBC called Emergency. And we've also put Fire Station 51 into some current NBC shows like Chicago Fire. So we really feel like a city. The only thing we don't have is residents, but some days I feel like I live here. A couple things that we do have that your city does not have are sound stages. We have about 28 working sound stages here on our lot. You're about to catch a glimpse of our first sound stage on the left-hand side. Sound stages are basically big empty warehouses, and from there we can build and create any world that we want inside these sound stages. They were created to control the sound, so they're about 98% soundproof. So on the left, if you guys look over there, I bet you can catch a glimpse of what films in Soundstage 12, The Voice, and they're actually filming it today. Well, that is our largest soundstage. It's over 29,000 square feet. Here's some examples on your screens of some productions that have filmed inside Soundstage 12. All the way back to our monster movie era. We built Frankenstein's lab and Dracula's castle inside Soundstage 12. We built a visitor center from Jurassic Park in there as well. Parts of Whoville from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, as well as Couples Retreat. Now that's what a soundstage looks like normally. Like I mentioned, it's just empty, and then from there we can build any world that we want inside. They have complete control. If they have to do a scene where it rains or snows, they can do that. If they have to film a scene that takes place at 9 a.m., but it's midnight, they can do that as well. And like I mentioned, when we shut those really big doors on the outside, they're called elephant doors. They don't have to worry about any noise happening out here. One of my favorite TV shows films in Soundstage 16 and 17 here on the left, the TV show Superstore on NBC that stars America Ferrera. If you're unfamiliar, here's a quick look.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's going to get punched.
Very, very funny show. If you like shows like Parks and Recreation or The Office, you would love Superstore. It's a workplace comedy about employees that work at Cloud9, which is a fictional box store, kind of like Walmart or Target. So in Soundstage 16 and 17, they built an entire store inside there. They also use Soundstage 21 up here on the left-hand side. That's where they have their break room, their warehouse, and other sets that they need. You'll see trailers as well. These are all the trailers for some of the stars of Superstore. This is kind of what they call their base camps. This is kind of their main camp where they kind of keep everything over here. Now, Soundstage 21 is one of our oldest sound stages, been around for a long time. That's actually where they built Mission Control for Apollo 13 that starred Tom Hanks. A couple really famous scenes in the original Jurassic Park film. If you remember when Lex wakes up and the friendly brontosaurus just sneezes on her, that was built inside Soundstage 21, as well as the scene where the Jeep was falling down the tree and Timmy was trying to get out was also filmed over there in Soundstage 21. More sound stages over here on the right-hand side. A lot of classic sitcoms actually filmed over at these sound stages, all the way back to Who's the Boss, Different Strokes, The Jeffersons, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Charles in Charge, all filmed in these sound stages. Now we have all types of productions that film here. It doesn't have to be TV shows or movies. We have talk shows that film here. In fact, if you guys ever watched Hollywood Game Night, hosted by Jane Lynch, that actually films here on our lot. The stages here on the right-hand side. Jane Lynch has celebrity contestants, and they do fun little challenges. Also, Family Feud, hosted by Steve Harvey, also films in these sound stages over here on the right. Other TV shows like Good Girls, a really great show on NBC with Christina Hendricks. She was from Mad Men, Retta from Parks and Recreation, and Mae Whitman from Parenthood. One show that I loved that was here for 4 years, but sadly it's coming to an end, is The Good Place. They were here with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. Speaking of Ted, there's a Ted right there on the left. There's your celebrity sighting for the day. Now, Ted is around some bungalows. These bungalows right here on the left are production offices for big writers, producers, and directors. These bungalows were actually dressing rooms a long time ago for stars like Lucille Ball, Jimmy Stewart, Doris Day. Back then, stars were called contract players, so they actually could only work at one movie studio at a time. So these were nice little apartment homes for them while they were here on the lot. But then we turned them into offices. Jennifer Lopez, that produces a show called World of Dance on our lot. She has the production office here. Elizabeth Banks, who is one of the producers of the Pitch Perfect movies. She has her offices for her company Brownstone here. If you love musicals, Mark Platt, that brought us Wicked, and La La Land has offices here as well. And of course, Illumination Entertainment, that brought us the Minions and The Secret Life of Pets. We do have a very famous bungalow coming up on the left. It's bungalow 5195. As we pass by, you guys will see a very familiar profile on the front of that bungalow. That bungalow used to be Sir Alfred Hitchcock's office when he was here on the lot. All of those amazing thrillers that we love, Psycho, The Birds, were conceived inside in that bungalow. Coming up here on the left is something that we haven't done in a long time here, is build new sound stages. We have 2 newer sound stages that we built about 4 years ago. Currently, The Return of Will and Grace is inside one of those sound stages, as well as Good Girls that utilizes the other sound stage. The first production to use those sound stages was Hairspray Live back in December 2015. NBC has been known for doing a lot of the live musicals, so we had Hairspray here on the lot. It was really fun. So they were using these sound stages here on the left. Then they would jump on golf carts and come over here to our backlot to do all of these dance sequences outside in our Metropolitan sets. And that's actually where we're traveling right now. We're transitioning to the backlot. On the right, you guys will see our Metropolitan sets. They're actually, we're doing some filming earlier on. You guys can see right over there the activity that's happening right there. You guys see the yellow taxi cab? That's what we can do. So these sets are very empty, very bare bones. We're in Los Angeles, but they're making that look like New York. And that's what you can do here. You can transform our sets here any place in the world you want to go just by adding street lamps, street lights, cars, snow, people, changing the sets different colors, putting different signage up. You can make it be any place. In fact, right over here, this is Brownstone Street. It was transitioned into Buffalo, New York for the movie Bruce Almighty.
Inside bad, outside good.
You guys get it? It's real. It's real.
Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done now.
One of my favorite areas of the backlot is Courthouse Square, as we're driving into, but you guys might recognize it as a little California town of Hill Valley from Back to the Future. Now, if you guys remember Back to the Future, if you look at your screens, you remember that famous courthouse with the columns, and you look over there, you're like, Wendy, it says City Hall. Well, that's because this area became so recognizable from Back to the Future that when other productions are filming here, you guys are watching these movies and TV shows at home going, oh, that's Hill Valley. I totally know that area. So we have to change it up, and that's what's awesome about our backlot sets is that we can change them. So what they put in front of there is called a facade. It means a false front. So it is just the front and the sides of a building that they kind of stuck right in front of there. They put that there for the TV show Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. This used to be the town of Grandview. Courthouse has gone all the way back to the Twilight Zone series in the 1950s. They used this for the first episode called Where Is Everybody? A guy wakes up in his town and he can't find anybody as he's wandering around Courthouse. One of my favorite Christmas movies, Gremlins, that was a snow-covered Kingston Falls. Saving Mr. Banks with Colin Farrell and Tom Hanks, also filmed there as well. But a lot of people mainly recognize it as Hill Valley from Back to the Future. So we're kind of on the end of our New York Street as we wrap around because they are doing some filming on the other end. But with this, we call it New York Street. We make it look like the Big Apple. There's actually buildings on that street that mimic actual buildings in New York. They have a building that looks like the exterior of the famous Macy's in Herald Square, as well as theater marquees, like you're going to go see a musical. One thing I do want to point out before I go back to our sets is on the left-hand side. You guys see that amazing monster mural? So that was designed by an amazing street artist named Tristan Eaton. He was out here just about, I think it was last year, he was out here and he was here every day in the rain putting that together. And do you know what he used to make that? Spray paint cans. That was all designed with spray paint cans. It's phenomenal. You guys check him up on Instagram. He is a phenomenal artist. As we make our way back into our metropolitan sets, this area we call London Square, though again it can be any city we want in the world. On the left you guys will see a nice wall with an image on there. What's kind of cool is we can see that because we see 3D. That looks like some painted buildings on there. But if you took a picture of that with your camera, it'll look 2D because your camera has one eye and sees through 2D, and we can actually see that because we have two eyes. So that's why we did something like this, so that if we're filming on the other end, that a little bit out of focus makes it look like it's actually buildings in the background. Now all of these buildings here are just basically shells. Kind of think of it like big wood flats with a steel infrastructure. So any interior shots that we do, we put them inside our sound stages. So if you were doing a scene with an actor, he might walk into one of the doors, the director would yell cut, and they would later on go into the sound stage and edit that all together and make it look like we were in one location the whole time. Now these streets have been transformed into numerous cities all over the world. They were transformed into Chicago for the Blues Brothers, London in the swinging 60s for Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, Minneapolis during the Christmas time for Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was Los Angeles for Transformers with Shia LaBeouf. And we've also had some superheroes here on our backlot. Captain America, the first Avenger. If you remember when he first gets his powers and he's jumping on top of the cars down the streets of New York, it was actually our New York street right over here, as well as the amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield was swinging on his web down the streets of New York. So definitely make sure you guys get some pictures. It's pretty cool to see all that decorated. Looks like there's a construction site going on for whatever they're filming. So it's pretty fun to see how you take such a bare bones set and how productive you can come and dress it up however they want. So we call that area our concrete jungle. Well, I want to take you guys to a tropical jungle known as Skull Island. We're going to say hi to our good buddy King Kong. Here's Peter Jackson to tell you a little bit more.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up.
So this is going to be King Kong 360 3D. It is going to be a bumpy ride, so please make sure to stay seated. If you want to take photos inside, you can, but please have the flash off. You guys can go ahead and put on your 3D glasses and welcome to Skull Island. Ladies and gentlemen, that was King Kong 360 3D. Did you guys like that? Was it fun? Got a little dinosaur spin on you? Just use some Tide, it'll come out, I promise. You guys can take off your 3D glasses. You guys will need them one more time, but I'll let you know when you guys need them. So that is King Kong 360 3D, one of the largest 3D attractions in the world. It's actually the second largest 3D attraction in the world. And it was designed by Peter Jackson and Weta Digital. Weta Digital is one of the leading companies for visual effects. They have won 6 Academy Awards. Most recently, they won for working on The Jungle Book. We're passing by New York Street again if you guys want to get a few more photos of the activity going on as we head up the hill. And here's a little bit more on your screens about creating King Kong. Like I mentioned, Weta Digital created it, one of the biggest leading visual effects companies. They worked on every movie you can think of. The Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit trilogies, Avatar, King Kong, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. A lot. And they actually, I just found out recently that they worked on some of the final episodes of Game of Thrones. So they're pretty good. Now you see the screens right there on your screen. They're some of the biggest 3D screens in the world. They are 40 feet tall and 180 feet long, using 16 movie projectors inside to bring that to life. Basically, it's like 2 IMAX screens sewn together inside of there. Can you imagine watching like the Super Bowl in there? That'd be pretty cool.
They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where the people are looking. They're looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters
Now you guys
away.
might have noticed in that experience a part of the tram appeared on screen. Now whenever a vehicle appears on screen, we call it a picture car. So on our left-hand side, if you guys like cars, get your cameras out. We have some famous picture cars from movies and TV shows that I think you guys will recognize. First off, we got the kit car from the Knight Rider reboot. We got the Magnum PI Ferrari, some cars from Back to the Future, and some flying cars from Back to the Future Part 2. And we go even farther back in time, some of our eco-friendly cars from the Flintstones. These are actually just modified golf carts. But of course, our picture car collection would not be complete without some cars from our Fast and Furious movies. So we have some from Too Fast, Too Furious, Furious 7, and Fate of the Furious. And right in between that, you guys might recognize the gyrosphere that was used in Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We also have some picture cars from Transformers. Now that tank there, it looks big, it looks mean, but I would not take that in a battle because it's made out of wood. But an amazing job of the art department to use light materials to make things look so realistic. It's a lot easier for filming to move a tank made out of wood than an actual metal tank. A couple other picture cars on the right-hand side, you'll see a Mercedes SUV from the Lost World Jurassic Park. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the Jeep Wrangler as we travel now to an island off the coast of Costa Rica.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
So some of the props and set pieces here are from the original Jurassic Park films that Steven Spielberg directed. So if you are familiar, on the right-hand side, there's a boat right here that was used in Jurassic Park 3. We also have the Mobile Lab up here on your left. That was used in a scene in the Lost World Jurassic Park. There was 2 very angry T-Rexes were pushing the Mobile Lab off a cliff while Jeff Goldblum, Vince Vaughn, and Julianne Moore were inside the Mobile Lab. I'll show you guys right here on your screens. Now that Mobile Lab was made out of wood, so we actually had to hang it from a crane. Oh yeah, there's also dinosaurs here. It's just dinosaur acid. And after the Spinosaurus, something has just skinny. He would not skip. That would be terrible. He's from the original Jurassic Park ride. So as you can see in that scene I was showing you from the Lost World, weather really plays an important factor in setting the mood. When you think about the Jurassic Park films, anytime the T-Rex was about to attack, there was always a thunderstorm. If you like scary movies, anytime the bad guy's chasing people, there's always a thunderstorm. It really affects the mood. It makes it more scarier than a sunny day. And here in Los Angeles, with the exception of the past couple weeks, we don't really get weather, and we can't wait around for weather to happen. So we have to create the effects ourselves. I'm going to show you guys how we do that. Here in this area we call Old Mexico. We're going to do a little weather demonstration for you. So we have some thunder and lightning right now. So thunder, there's just some speakers that we have hidden. And then lightning's like a little strobe light effect. Now there's one thing we're missing to make that perfect storm, the rain. So we have overhead sprinklers that shoot the rain up in the air so it falls to the ground naturally, so it looks like it's really raining. Filmmakers will use some extra techniques to make the rain look a little bit better on camera. They'll make the raindrops bigger. Sometimes they'll add blue dye or even milk powder to the water to make it a little bit darker on camera. So as you can see, we can create a nice little thunderstorm and otherwise semi-sunny day in Los Angeles. But one thing we also can do is create a giant flash flood. Now all of that water just came from tanks at the top of the hill and it's just recycled back up and just waits for the next tour to come to visit. Now this flash flood was actually used in a movie called Big Fat Liar that filmed all over our backlot. They used our flash flood attraction for this one scene. So you can see actors Amanda Bynes and Frankie Muniz running up the hill over there in Old Mexico. Paul Giamatti chasing after them. And here comes the flash flood. Old Mexico here on the left has been used for a lot of great films. Three Amigos with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase filmed over here. One of my favorites, Nacho Libre with Jack Black, also filmed in Old Mexico. They also turned it into the fictional town of Tortuga for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Now next door to Old Mexico, we have 6 Points, Texas, some of the oldest sets that we have here. When we opened up and started making movies in 1915, the majority of our movies we filmed over here because they were silent Western films. 6 Points got its name because there used to be 6 different streets that intersected right in the middle, so you could film 6 different Westerns at the same time. Now these sets are older, but they still get used today. In fact, you can see these sets in the movie, I believe is still in theaters right now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. The premise of that movie is Leonardo DiCaprio is an actor and Brad Pitt is their stunt double. And our 6 Points Texas sets are actually in the movie for about 45 minutes because at one point Leonardo DiCaprio is actually filming a Western TV show. So it was so much fun to have huge directors and huge stars still here on our lot filming. And they're actually prepping over there right now. The TV show Superstore is going to be filming part of their episode over in 6 Points. There's a body of water we just passed by there on the left. That's also an area you can film. We call it Park Lake. It was actually the Black Lagoon from the creature from the Black Lagoon, and also the Pacific Ocean for McHale's Navy. You can use every inch and every part of our backlot. If you want to film like right there, you can. You have that capability to film wherever you'd like to. That's why productions love filming on a backlot. They control their environment and do whatever they want. I'm going to take you guys across the world and head to Europe. We call this area Little Europe. We can transform this area into any city that we want just by changing the signage, specific language of that country, the costumes of the actors, changing the props and the set dressing. We can make it any place. This was actually Paris for the Muppet movie with Amy Adams and Jason Segel, the fictional town of Genovia for the Princess Diaries 2, the royal engagements, that famous running of the bulls in Spain in City Slickers with Billy Crystal was filmed here, right? But most recently, this area for 4 years was The Good Place. If anyone ever watched The Good Place with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson, this was essentially the afterlife. A very, very funny show. Now, I do have to go off mic for just a few moments. There's a TV show up ahead of us called Home and Family that's shooting. So you guys take some photos, talk amongst yourself, and I'll be back in just a moment.
No problem, just tap me on the shoulder. No, you're good.
specialty. It's a really unique soundstage because we have a set already built inside it. As you can see, it's a subway station. So just by changing everything over. That was just a tremor. Welcome to Los Angeles. I feel that every day living out here. Nothing to worry about. So this might be the big one. Nobody panic. Just keep recording and taking pictures. It's totally fine. You know, this might be a time to tell somebody something you've always wanted to tell them. Just get it off your chest. Or just do an I do in an emergency. Just go on Facebook.
That's what it felt like telling you, like.
I think it stopped. I think we're safe. Did we lose anybody? Is everybody, what is that? Oh, it looks like the water main broke. That's weird. You all deserve Academy Awards for your performances. That was Earthquake, the big one. Large mechanical effects created an 8.3 magnitude earthquake. We've had that attraction on our studio tour since the 1980s, and it's based off the 1974 movie titled Earthquake. Now that is a real working soundstage. You can rent out Soundstage 50 if you want to. In fact, you can use our mechanical effects. That's exactly what the TV show Bones did. You'll see here on your screens. They needed a subway set, so they came here, but they needed a disaster to happen, so they released our earthquake attraction. Alright, well since I put you through an earthquake, I want to make it up to you. I thought we could stop by the beach. Welcome to the beautiful beach community of Amity Island. Yes, this is the same town that was terrorized by a man-eating great white shark, but don't worry, they caught the shark. He's saying, oh, they caught the wrong shark, guys. I'm sorry. That's okay, guys. We are on the tram. We are safe. Oh, that diver is in the water. Oh dear. Oh, this is the wrong clip I was supposed to play. This isn't the right stuff. He's fine, guys. He is a professional. Nothing to worry about. He'll get in his boat. He will be totally fine. Okay. Case of an emergency, pull in front of flammable gas cans. Okay, perfect. So we're doing the right thing. Looks like he took the bait from that yellow barrel. That's a good sign. There's gasoline and fire. Oh, that feels nice, actually. But I don't see the shark. Do you guys see the shark? Oh, there he is. Bless you. Is he kind of cold? So that is our mechanical shark. Little homage to one of our hugest blockbusters here at Universal, Jaws, that came out in 1975, directed by Steven Spielberg. Now, I do have to go off mic again. We do have a production filming ahead. So again, you guys take some photos. You guys can talk totally fine, and I'll get back to you guys in just a moment.
All right, everybody get out, push.
All right, guys, I am back just in time to welcome you to Whoville from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This was directed by Ron Howard, starred Jim Carrey as the Grinch. One of the biggest productions of film here. They actually used 11 of our sound stages, and one sound stage was just used to put Who's in all of their makeup. Now, the Who's always have problems with neighbors. They had the Grinch that bothered them for a while, and then they had this new neighbor that moved in next door. You could say he's a psycho. Some of the most famous sets still standing in Hollywood. The Bates Motel and Up at the Top of the Hill. That is the original Psycho house from Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 thriller. Oh, it looks like Norman is here today. I didn't think he would be here.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Usually doesn't work on Tuesdays. He doesn't like Tuesdays. I'm sure he won't mind if you guys want to take some photos of the place, maybe give him a good Yelp review. Looks like there's some vacancies. If you guys want to talk to me after the tour, I get great discounts, so just let me know if you guys are looking for a room for the night. We can chat with Norman as well. Okay, yeah, this is awkward. This is not what, you know, guys, we'll just get going. Hi, Norman, how are you? I hope you're having a lovely day. Yeah, you are having a lovely day? All right, we're just gonna go, bye. Don't wave at Norman. He's got a knife. As we head up the hill, you guys will see that famous Psycho house, and Mother still lives there, actually. She's on the second floor, rocking back and forth in her chair. If you want to wave and say hi to her. She is not aged. She looks beautiful. But she's not really having the best day today because somebody destroyed her backyard. And that somebody was Steven Spielberg. One of the largest sets ever constructed on our backlot. This is a spectacular crash site from War of the Worlds, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, and Tim Robbins. Now you're probably looking at that plane, you're like, is that real? Yep. That is an actual Boeing 747 that they purchased for the production. It cost them about $60,000, which is not bad because you can buy a car for that. But to bring it here to the backlot, it cost them about $250,000. Here's a look at that scene on your screens. We'll stop for a moment so you guys can get some pictures.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we sit down to talk about War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep pressing me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
Now this is an actual set you can rent out. Once they were done filming back in 2005, Paramount did ask that nobody use this area for 5 years because they wanted to make sure that this set was originally known for War of the Worlds. But we've had commercials filmed over there, TV shows like Community and America's Next Top Model, music videos like Nicki Minaj and Rihanna did their video Fly over there. A couple other sets to show you guys over here on the right-hand side as we round the corner. We have this log cabin right here. This log cabin was originally built for the great outdoors with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. One of my favorite movies from the 80s. If you haven't seen it, it's so funny. This was also used for the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, Deja Vu with Denzel Washington, used for some episodes of Desperate Housewives, and that's where Coach lived on the TV show Coach. Now, right behind the cabin, you guys can kind of see through the trees, there's a blue wall. That area we call Falls Lake. It's basically the largest freestanding backdrop in Hollywood, and you can do amazing scenes over there. If you guys look at your screens, here's one example of what was filmed over there. The rescue scene from the movie Sully starring Tom Hanks, that was right in front of that blue screen. So there's a pit in front of that screen you could fill up with anything, water, dirt, sand, stones. So for this movie in particular, they filled up that pit with water. They brought in a decommissioned airplane and all the extras. The only thing that was not real was the New York buildings and skyline around it. That was later digitally put in. But that's what you can do over there. It's a blue wall. It's amazing. So we're going to head inside Sullivan's Truck Repair Shop, because I want to put you guys into your own Fast and Furious hideout inside here. We're going to get further instruction from Roman on what to do next. Roman, we're here.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone can give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and meet you in there.
Alright, so we're going to pull forward. It sounds like there's a party going on. This is kind of exciting.
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And the where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. And I might suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate. Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Lenny, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman truck. I need you and Lenny ready to roll.
Alright, so we're going to pull inside this parking structure to find out. Go ahead and put back on your 3D glasses. Please make sure to stay seated at all times. It is going to be a bumpy ride, so make sure to hold on to your belongings, your loved ones, your favorite child, whatever gets you through this experience. And hopefully we'll get out of here as soon as possible.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried! This is our truck. After them! Don't worry, I got this. Mama, don't shoot! Head for the bridge! Under construction! Everybody hold the line! Hit the nitrous! Run and gun!
Alright, get it out. That was Fast and Furious Supercharged.
You know what's crazy out there? Get red hard. Respect.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
I get to join the crew. I'm so excited. So that was Fast and Furious Supercharged. Opened summer 2015, based off our biggest movie franchise. Fast and Furious just finished production of Furious 9. We also had the spin-off movie that came out this past summer, Hobbs and Shaw, and they're going to be working on Furious 10, and I'm sure they're going to continue making 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You guys love those movies, and we're going to keep making them for you. So Fast and Furious Supercharged concludes our studio tour. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Let's all give a nice big round of applause, not to that clip, but to this one, to Titus for driving us all around. Thank you so much, Titus. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. If there's a movie or TV show I mentioned that you hadn't heard, go home and check it out. It's so much fun to see movies and see the sets and then actually see them on the screens. A reminder today, the park is closing at 6 p.m. so you guys still have some time to ride some rides, check out some shows. When you guys exit the tram, there will be some recycle bins where you can put your 3D glasses. And also, please make sure to watch your step when you exit the tram. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA.
Bring the noise.